Welcome back to Bishop's Breakdown. This is episode 11, the only place where I call it like I see it. This week, you got NFL playoffs on deck, WWE Raw and SmackDown chaos, and yes, the elephant in the room. The NFL finding players for the dumbest reason. It's no fun anymore, and we're going to break it down exactly why your favorite league is killing the vibe. Strap in because we're cutting through the noise and getting to the truth. No sugarcoating, no fluff, just real talk. So before we get into the show, let's talk about the college football playoffs. First off, Indiana destroyed Alabama. Like, there was no question that Indiana was winning this game. Alabama put up 3 points, and Indiana just kept scoring and kept winning and kept scoring. So that looks like my favorite to win it all. I mean, they have to get through the next game against Oregon, but I feel that rematch, Indiana's going to win that game. Like, if they play just even a little bit like they played against Alabama, Oregon's going to be licking their wounds at home, and Indiana's going to be waiting in Miami, Florida on January 19th for the national championship. And then Miami, the team that they said shouldn't even been there, took Ohio State and said, I'll give you 14, but I'll take 24, and beat the Ohio State Buckeyes. So they're at home and watching this just like I am. And Ole Miss, that's my dark horse, and I hope and pray they can beat Miami and move on to Miami and take on Indiana in the national championship game. Because Lane Kiffin, I'm looking at you. You abandoned this team for LSU, and this team might win the national title, and you and LSU have a lot of work to do to even get to that point. So, thanks, but no thanks, bruh. Because Ole Miss took the favorite, Georgia, and beat them. Barely beat them, but it's all about the W's at the end of the day. So, the college playoffs, very interesting, very exciting game. So I can't wait till the next set of games, which is January 9th and the 8th. So the Fiesta Bowl and the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. So those games are on ESPN. So let's hope that it continues the trend and the close games. Love close games, but my picks are Indiana and Ole Miss in the national championship game on January 19th. And I will be remiss to not mention my hometown team and the Michigan Wolverines basketball team. They are 11-0, number one in the nation. And they're just beating the bananas out of anybody that they put in front of them. Like, if they don't beat them by 35, it's a down game for Michigan. And I'm loving it. I'm loving every second of it because most of my home teams, like the Lions and the Michigan Wolverine football team, have let me down this year. But we got Detroit basketball and we got Michigan Wolverines basketball. And they're looking dominant. But I think their biggest test is going to be against Michigan State, which is on the 30th of this month in Lansing, in East Lansing. And I think that's going to be their biggest test to date. And if they can get past Michigan State and get that W, then I think their next big test will be against Duke at Duke, because it's Duke. They're always going to be that team. I mean, no matter what, players want to play for Duke and North Carolinas and the Texases of the world. So hopefully Michigan can go in there and show them that maybe the recruits need to come to Ann Arbor and be part of the Michigan Wolverine staff of talent. Because we haven't been this talented since the Fab Five, in my opinion. I mean, they've been to championship games and they had teams, but not nearly as dominant as this team is right now. Again, it's still early. We got a couple months until March Madness, and that will be the truest test for if this Michigan Wolverines team is for real or just a pretender. But I'm here for the ride, and I'll let you know every second of this ride that you can, take with me. Because go blue for sure. And, Ohio State, you lost. So let's get right into it. Let's talk the last Monday Night Football game of the season from last Monday. The Rams take on the Falcons. Once the Rams were competing for the best record in the NFL, but just couldn't keep up with the rest of the teams after 2 straight losses. The Rams got humbled on Monday Night Football by a team in the Falcons who are just playing for pride right now, playing spoiler. But Bijan Robinson, when given the chance, is a top 5 running back in all the league, showing his greatness on a 93-yard run sprint to the end zone for a touchdown. So let's get into Monday Night Raw. Austin Theory makes his first singles match since his return, and his new music has a vibe to it, and I love it. And he took on Rey Mysterio. But that ended in a DQ finish when Logan Paul and Bronson Reed attacked Rey. But lo and behold, Penta made his return from injury to help even the odds. But earlier in the night, there was a tense showdown between the champion CM Punk and his challenger, Braun Breaker, who would have a title match tonight for the World Heavyweight title live from Brooklyn on Netflix for the year anniversary of Raw being on that platform. But my favorite line from Braun goes like this. What? You don't respect me because I didn't pay my dues in the Indies or something like that? While you were doing that, I was sharing the field with Lamar Jackson, pal. We are not the same. Wow. And then Punk was like, well, you're right. We aren't the same because one of us is CM Punk. Mic drop. But the biggest news that come out of Monday Night Raw, we have new tag team champions. And you might have heard of them, the Usos. Jimmy and Jay defeated the team of AJ Styles and Dragon Lee to become 9-time tag team champions. Congratulations to Jimmy and Jay. I'm sure your dad Rikishi is very proud of your accomplishments. So let's move on to Friday Night SmackDown. And if you haven't heard, Friday Night SmackDown is going to 3 hours. Oh well. Besides the filler on the show, here are 5 things that stood out for me. So let's talk about it. Matt Cardona made his official WWE return. He is now officially back with WWE and on SmackDown. I'm happy for him. Love his new music with the transition from woo woo woo, you know it. Dope song. And then Randy Orton made his return when Miz was in the ring talking about how everything's unfair. He got RKO'd. Duh. But then he confronted Cody backstage saying, when you're done with Drew McIntyre, I'm next in line, buddy. Can't wait for that match. Randy Orton facing Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship. Sign me up. And then Julia defeated Chelsea Green for the women's U.S. title. Poor Chelsea Green. Never cut a break. But then Drew, later that night, cut an intense promo trying to get under Cody Rhodes' skin to get him to attack him because there's a stipulation once he made his apology that Cody, if he attacks him, gets stripped of his title. He even took a picture out of Cody Rhodes' tour bus with him and his dad and lit it on fire right in front of Cody. Drew is a damn good heel. But he also named off his 3 stipulations for their 3 stages of hell in Berlin next week on SmackDown. You got a traditional match, a fall count anywhere match, and if needed, a steel cage. So next week's SmackDown looks to be a banger, and I'm hoping that Drew somehow gets the title. But the last thing, Trick Williams made his debut on the main roster looking to win a world title shot, as he confronted Sami Zayn, who was out there claiming that he's going after the title next. So let's talk NBA, that basketball thing. As I stated in my TikTok, Nikola Jokic will miss at least 4 weeks with a hyperextended left knee. And the Nuggets have gone 1-2 since he got hurt and play a tough task tonight against the Philadelphia 76ers. So hopefully they can wade the storm for the next 4 weeks and keep their winnings alive until Jokic gets back, because he was playing on another level. And then Russ Westbrook is now the NBA's all-time scorer at the point guard position. So here's his numbers. Here's his ranking on all time. Points for point guard, first. Rebounds for point guard, first. Assists for point guards, fifth. Blocks for point guards, third. Steals, seventh. Triple doubles, first. Field goals scored, first. And clutch, which is game tying or go ahead field goals, he's first. So whether he gets a ring or not, in my opinion, he is unanimously first ballot Hall of Famer. There's no question in my mind that Westbrook is a Hall of Famer, hands down. So let's talk the final week of the NFL regular season. But I'm only going to focus on the playoff implication games. Let's start with Saturday's Bucks versus Panthers. The Bucks barely pulled off this win. Now have to wait for the Falcons-Saints game on Sunday, which dictates who won the division between the Panthers and the Bucks. So the Bucks are rooting for the Saints to win, and the Panthers are rooting for the Falcons to win. So Sunday night game was the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers in Pittsburgh. Emotionally game, high stakes game. I love these type of games. Everything on the line. You either win and you get in, or you lose and you're sitting at home, no playoffs for you, your season's over. And normally week 18, usually not that important. I'm glad we got one game that really mattered like this one. The Steelers outlast the Baltimore Ravens after my man Tyler Loop missed a game-winning 44-yard field goal with time running out, went wide right to lose the game. Tough break, but what's the future for John Harbaugh? Missing the playoffs in both 2021 and 2025. Harbaugh's record in the playoffs is 13-11. But I feel like they should give him another chance, because injuries and poor play calling was their downfall. But you don't fire a Super Bowl winning coach without a clear upgrade lined up to take its place. But if this core doesn't break through soon, the clock is ticking. But honestly, who's out there that's better than John right now? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section or email me at bishopsbreakdown@gmail.com. So let's go to the Falcons versus Saints game. Tyler Shote, the rookie of the year, I think, did everything he could to win this game. 250 yards passing, a passing touchdown, a rushing touchdown. But he did have a costly interception in the fourth that probably cost him the game. So the Carolina Panthers are the division champions for the first time since Cam Newton led the Panthers to a 15-1 record and a Super Bowl appearance over 10 years ago. And here's another nugget of information from this season. The New York Jets, yeah, that terrible Jets, are the only team in NFL history without recording an interception on defense. That's wild. Not one interception all year that their defense been able to do. So that's how bad their defense was. And here's the coaches that got fired today. Because, it's Black Monday 2026. Raheem Morris, the head coach of the Falcons, out. Kevin Stefanowski, of the Cleveland Browns, out. Or like my man on TikTok, we're the Cleveland Browns. Love that guy. So here's a segment I love, Elephant in the Room. Let's talk NFL. I saw this story earlier today. The NFL fined Rams linebacker Jared Verse $11,000 for, what do you think he did? Flashed the peace sign to the Falcons bench during a block field goal return touchdown. That's a definition of no fun league. They also, earlier this season, threatened to fine Detroit Lions players for fake picking their nose and flicking it at their opponent. Seriously? Like, that is a childish thing, and it didn't mean nothing. It's not like they're actually flicking boogers at people, but all these snowflakes out here, they might get offended, and you don't want that. I mean, they want personalities, they want joy, they want fun to come through when they're wearing helmets. And when they try to do those things, they punish them. I mean, it's what makes people like me want to spend all Sunday, all Monday, all Saturday, all Thursday to watch men in cleats run around the field with a football. But clearly, them having fun is boo, and them being robots. So you might as well replace all these players with robots or AI, or why even play the game? Just have fake things and play some Madden or something. Because clearly, if they try to show personality, it's booed upon, and they don't like them do what they do, and they just take money. I mean, I know they're millionaires and they ain't gonna get hurt from it, but some of these players aren't making millions. Some of these third string players, some of these backup players, they're not making the millions. So these 11,000, 10,000, whatever fines are hurting them for what? Because they're trying to show personality. They want to have fun in the game that they love to play. Like, it's not a job to them, but the NFL wants to make it their task to make it a job. And that's not cool. And in the long run, that's just going to make people like me hate or make it a chore to watch these games, because it's just going to be blah, 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 and nothing exciting happens on the field besides scoring, going from one end of the field to the other end of the field and do it all over again. Might as well watch NASCAR. No offense, NASCAR fans, but it's all left turns, you know? So, come on, NFL. Stop with the no fun league and have some fun. Embrace what people want to watch, because they're just going to take these boring segments and add ad-lib vocals to it and make it more fun. And now people are going to go on TikTok and look for games there instead of on your other platforms like the Peacocks and the Paramounts and the Amazons and the Netflix. So you need to rethink what you need to do and punish people who need to be punished for assaulting people or attacking people or trying to hurt the other opponent. Showing the peace sign is not hurting anybody's feelings, because if they would have kicked and made the field goal, that guy wouldn't have got the ball and ran it back for a touchdown. So that's on the Falcons, not on the Rams, Jared Verse. So be better, NFL. Please be better, because I can't handle this shenanigans that you call, and you want to strike them down like you're a god or something. Well, you're not. You're just the NFL. You're just a billionaire company that need to understand their audience for once. And relax, buddy. Relax. So I got that out of the way. But there's no more power rankings for the NFL since the regular season is officially over. So I'm going to do something fun. Here's playoff matchups with my prediction for each wild card game. Don't at me, bro. This is what I just think, and it could change. It might not happen, but if it does, bookmark this and remember, I said it here first. So let's start with the LA Rams versus the Carolina Panthers at Carolina. I feel the Rams are going to win. They're playing better football, and, you know, they got a better offense, great defense. I think Puka's going to have a great game. I think Matt Stafford's going to show why he is the regular season MVP. So I get them the win. Then you got the Green Bay Packers taking on the Chicago Bears in Chicago. I got the Bears. I know they lost to the Lions, but that didn't mean nothing. They weren't really focused on that game anyway, and they still almost won. So I think the Packers are going to be outmanned, and I think the Bears are going to go deep in the playoffs this year. Then you got the Bills versus Jags. I had trouble with this game. Granted, it's in Jacksonville, so Jags are at home. But I think the Bills are the team of the future, and they're going to win or at least get to the Super Bowl. And they have to start by doing that this weekend on the wild card weekend. And I feel they're going to beat the Jags. Josh Allen's going to make sure, and Cook and Kincaid and all and Knox, they're going to do their thing, and they're going to defeat the Jacksonville Jaguars. Then you got the San Francisco 49ers taking on the Philadelphia Eagles, the defending Super Bowl champions in their house in Philly. And crazy pick, San Francisco 49ers. Brock Purdy, CMC, Christian McCaffrey, George Kittle, Sierra Mia. No fear. The 49ers are going to take it to the Eagles and kick them out of the playoffs. You heard it here first. Then you got the LA Chargers taking on the New England Patriots in New England. And I feel Drake May, he's going to wheel this team, and he's going to show that they weren't here by mistake, and they're going to defeat the Chargers. Sorry, Justin Herbert. Sorry, Jim Harbaugh. You got next year. And then you got the Houston Texans taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers in Pittsburgh. And sorry, Aaron Rodgers, but I know you had to win that game against the Ravens just to get here. But you're going to be with the Ravens after this weekend, because the Houston Texans and Nico Collins and C.J. Stroud, they're going to find a way and knock Aaron Rodgers and them out the playoffs. So that's my take for Wild Card Weekend. So here's the NBA power ranking of the week. You got the OKC Thunder, who are 30-6, 17-1 at home, and still the defending NBA champions. So they're going to be on top of the list until somebody can dethrone them, which, as of right now, it looks like maybe the Pistons will, if they keep their winning ways alive, they're going to flip-flop with these guys. Because right now they're number 2, 26-9. In the last 10 games, they have the exact same record as the OKC Thunder, 6-4. So, not saying that they're the same, not saying that Detroit's better than the Thunder, but they're showing that they can be. And then number 3, we got San Antonio Spurs, who are 25-10. Wemby, unicorn, enough said. And then the Lakers, 22-11. You got Luka Doncic, and they've been without Austin Reeves for a little bit, but you still got LeBron James in the twilight of his career, but still showing that he still can perform at a highest level. And I'm thinking this might be it for him. So I think he's going to do all he can, kind of like John Cena. He's going to put everything he can into this last run to make sure that he gets that championship and go out on top. And here's the NBA MVP watch list, according to yours truly. You got number 1, Nikola Jokic. I know he's hurt. I know he's going to be out for 4 weeks. But the numbers don't lie, and the numbers are still incredible. 29.6 points per game, 12.2 rebounds per game, and 11 assists per game. Triple-double numbers, clearly. Number 2, Luka. 33.7 points per game. And then he got 8.7 assists per game. And then you got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the defending MVP, with 31.9 points per game. That boy just scores. Anywhere, anytime, anyhow. That's what he does. That's what he brings to the table. And that's what he gonna do. That boy good. And then you got my hometown hero, Cade Cunningham, with 26.7 points per game, and not to mention 9.6 assists per game. So basically averaging a double-double. And the Pistons are on fire, and because of him. He wills that victory, even if he's not on the court. He's that type of player. He has that X factor, and the Pistons are succeeding because Cade just gets it. And you can't measure his heart, but it's big. AF. Oh, yeah, and one more thing I got a bone to pick about the NFL. Make this make sense. The Rams have a better record than the Panthers, but didn't win their division. So the Panthers, with a 8-9 record, yeah, and the Rams with a 12-5 record. I mean, I understand their thinking when they made these requirements because the Panthers won their division, but they're a lower seed, so they have to host a wild card game. But they're not the better team. The record says so. My eyes say so. The Rams are a better team. They should have got a home game that week or next weekend. But the Panthers do. NFL, you need to, like in the off season, to look at it and say either or. You know, maybe division winner or the better record of the two get the home game because. Like I said earlier, I don't think the Panthers are going to beat the Rams. So now, what's the point of them having a home game? I mean, I know, like I said, they won their division barely. They have a losing record, which shows they're 8-9. The Rams are not, and I know the Seahawks won their division, but the Rams, I don't know. It should be flip flop. The Rams should be hosting the Panthers and not the other way around. But what do I know? Clearly nothing. Because that's how they do it. And it grinds my gears. So I just had to point that out because stupid. Oh, yeah. And by the way, after this weekend wild card, I'll make my Super Bowl picks. And you can take that to the bank. Put all your money on my picks. Because I'm always right? Something like that. So, yeah. Let's move on to the Raw preview coming tonight, January 5th, from Brooklyn, New York. Live on Netflix. The year anniversary that Raw came to Netflix and changed things up. Or something like that. So it's a Raw and Stranger Things crossover. Whatever that means. Not sure. But because they didn't really say much, they just showed, the upside downness to the background of their matchups. The CM Punk's. Because that main event is CM Punk defending his World Heavyweight title against Braun Breaker. And if the rumors are to be true, someone's going to break the walls down tonight. At least that's what Alex Pierce said on TikTok and YouTube Shorts. But, hey, if Y2J appears and Break the Walls Down music hits, or better yet, that Judas song he had during his AEW run, I will geek out. I don't care that he's 1,000 years old. Chris Jericho is a legend, and he deserves to have a last run in the company that made him famous. I know he was a WCW guy, but even he will admit that WCW dropped the ball when he was there. It was WWE that made him the guy he is today. Like, for real. Like, there was no, Y2J, Ayatollah of Rockarola, dueling promos with the People's Champion, The Rock. There would not have been, hey, you know what I don't like? I don't like that. And you know what that means? You just made the list. If you don't remember that, YouTube that, because him getting over a list, a clipboard with the thing that said the list of Jericho, made that a over thing, then you'll see why Chris Jericho is a legend and a first ballot Hall of Famer, all of that stuff. So hopefully he'll show up tonight. If not, the Rumble is where he's going to show up. And then you got a women's tag team title match. You got Rhea Ripley and Io Sky taking on the champions, the Kabuki Warriors of Asuka and Kairi Sane. And then you got the Intercontinental Women's title match. The champion, Maxine Dupree, defends her title against the man, Becky Lynch. And then Liv Morgan takes on Lyra Valkyria in Liv's first singles match since coming back from injury. So this Raw, like they've been saying, is going to shake the foundations to its core and take it all the way to the upside down. Whatever. It's Netflix, Raw, Stranger Things. So maybe the Stranger Things cast will appear. Maybe some of them. If not, then why are we doing this crossover? Like, if you just have images and wrestlers dressed like Demogorgons or Vecna or something, whatever. It's just another show then. And it shouldn't even be endorsed as such. So I'm assuming there's going to be a promo or a backstage segment or an in-ring segment with some of the cast of Stranger Things interacting with WWE superstars. And in a funny segment. So it's going to be a joke segment. Maybe The Miz, maybe R-Truth. I don't know. Who else is there? I don't know. Joe Hendry or something. Oops. Nope. He didn't show up. But I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. It's going to be a comedy segment. I don't see them wrestling or something crazy like that. But I am looking forward to it. So no Monday Night Football tonight. And no more football till Saturday when the wild card games start. So the next week's show might be a little light, but it is sports, so I'm sure there'll be something insane that's going to come through my table, through my laptop, that's going to spark some interest. And there you have it. And that's a wrap for this week's Bishop's Breakdown. NFL playoffs are heating up. WWE chaos isn't slowing down at all. And the NFL's league keep reminding us why sometimes it's just no fun. So make sure you hit that follow button on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen your podcasts, so you never miss this breakdown and other breakdowns. So drop your takes, share the podcast, and I'll see you crazy people next week. Same time, same energy, many more hot takes, more truths. So stay tuned, and like me, stay ready. Deuces. Ooses.